Welcome back, guys. It's been a while since we haven't posted our tutorial, but in this occasion we have our friend Jonathan. He's gonna get a French crop and a skin fade, right? So for his hair type, I would like to do a skin fade since he have a very dry texture hair, very porous. So we're gonna try to bring all this shape down and build a more square shape from this angle, right? And also from this angle. So we're gonna break the haircut down in 4 steps. Our first step is gonna be the consultation. In this step, what I do is I basically just place the hair the way it naturally wants to go, right? We have the little swirl back here, the little cowlick. So we're just gonna let it be, you know, let it ride how it naturally wants to be. And from there we can decide what type of shape and what type of haircut we should really choose for him. Okay, so in this part, the consultation part, like I mentioned before, we're gonna try to leave the hair the way it naturally wants to go, and we're gonna try to see what type of hair texture our client has, right? So in this occasion, we have a very dry and thick hair, right? So for this specific hair type, I like to cut it pretty wet, but before wetting it, I gotta see how long it is and where am I gonna place my sections and all that, right? So French crops, this type of haircuts, normally the top area goes forward, right? And yeah, basically the whole hair goes forward like that, and we try to also like bring it the way it naturally wants to go, like I said before. So back here in the cowlick, we're gonna find the natural growth, and from there we place our first section, which is the hair that goes forward and the hair that goes back. So I'm gonna take a few seconds to sectionate his hair, and I'll be back to show you what the sectioning looked like. So after we got our main section done, right? I call it main section because I like to separate the top from the bottom. And in some occasions, I'll do a few more sections, but I like to keep it simple because it's easier. Plus, this is a tutorial that is salon friendly. We try to keep this like pretty easy and quick. That way you can actually use this type of techniques at the barbershop or at the salon or anything, like a regular daily basis. So after we section both things, I like to choose what type of tool or what type of scissors I like to use for each type of haircut. And in this occasion, I'm gonna use my 5.5 inch. This year, I like to use it on this type of hair because it's thick, so it actually allows me to place, to do a little more wrist, you know, like handling and all that. That helps me a lot. So I like to start from the back and do a little section back here. And the technique that I'm gonna use on his haircut is gonna be a diagonal graduation facing forward, right? So what I'm gonna basically do is start with one section here and then move like this until I finish at the fringe, at the front area. And the same in this side. So let's start by this side. I get a lot of questions when I get to this part because it's very confusing. It's very confusing knowing what type, like how short I should make the hair, right? And the best way and the easiest way to know how short you should go is by you touching the scalp and trying to find where the apex on each side goes, right? So in this case, we have the occipital bone right here. That's gonna be our shortest part on the bottom right here, and then the longest part is gonna be up here. So I just grab it, move my fingers out, and that gives me the length. I like to cut hair until my second knuckle, so I have my first knuckle right here, and then I move to my second knuckle, and I'll stop over there. It's safer. You save a headache by just doing that and not going all the way till your hand, because you're gonna cut it, you're gonna bleed, you're gonna get in too deep. So at this point we have finished with the foundation of the haircut, and I repeated the same thing I did on this side, but on this side I actually did the same type of graduation facing forward like that. And by us doing that, after we finish, we're able to see the movement of the hair, right? Like we're able to see that the hair wants to go forward like that. And we retain a good shape on the back. Anyway, we're gonna be using our clipper at the end, like after we finish with the top portion, we're gonna be doing a lot of clipper work. And a lot of people tell me, oh, why would you do all that work with the scissors if you're gonna end up using the clipper? Okay, if you don't have a good foundation, when you start using your clipper, you're gonna be lost, and you're not gonna be able to know where, how high or where are you gonna be placing your 0, your 2, your 1, and all that. So that's what I wanted to explain to you on this video. And moving forward, we have our top portion that we haven't touched it. So first thing that I like to see when I like before cutting it, when I'm trying to decide what type of shape I'm choosing on the top, which could be rounded, could be triangular, could be square. Before choosing, I have to see how much of a shape do I have in the front, and how much of a shape do I have in the profile section. So as I can see here, he has very long hair in this area right here, which he doesn't need. Like, it's way too much volume, so it's making as much as we try to style it, it makes the shape look off, so it looks pretty rounded here. And I don't think the rounded shape goes good with this type of shape and haircut we're trying to achieve over here. So if we get rid of all this volume that he has up here and try to leave as much as we can in here, that's gonna bring up a lot of the symmetry that we're trying to go for, right? Which is, so at this step of the haircut, you're gonna just step back and try to calm down, chill out, and see how much hair should you bring up from here for you to make it symmetrical with the back area, right? With the crown area. Why? Because if you make this too short and this too long, the proportion of the haircut is gonna make him look that he has a bigger profile, right? If I bring this up too higher, his profile is gonna get bigger, right? So you gotta see that on your client. If your client has a beard and has a big profile, you gotta bring this up and try to balance it out, right? We also left a lot of hair back here, so we don't wanna go way too short over here. What really bothers me is this shape. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And how would I do that? Just basically brushing his hair down with the thicker portion of the comb. That way I can see how his hair naturally grows. And then I'm gonna do a guideline. That guideline is gonna allow us to see what type of shape he currently has. Perfect. At this point, our shape is way better, as you can see. We don't have this big bulk right here. We have more of a flat shape right here. We also have a little bit of a disconnection between the back and the front, but we'll take care of that once it's dry. And then for the fringe area, we haven't really cut anything. We will cut it, but for that I'm gonna use another tool, which is a feather razor, just because it gives me a more natural look. and it's like his face, so we're trying to work with it. For the fringe, I don't want to bring it up too high. I just want to make it nice and even, and probably just, yeah, do like raise it up to like here, half an inch or so. So what I'll do for it is just brush it to the side, bring one section down. Why would I do that? Because it gives me more organization at the moment of cutting it. That way I can make all my sections the same length. So forward with my feather razor, just keep it nice and even. 1, 2. Now we're moving on into the styling section, into the styling part of it. We're gonna try to find it. We're gonna try to feel it. So once you identify where it is and once you feel it right here, you're gonna pass your 1.5 closed right on that bone, right in that bone. So in this occasion, we're gonna be doing like a low to mid fade. And as we know, our bone is right here, so we're gonna try to do this shape and connect it to the occipital back here. At this point, I already did my number 1.5. I strengthened the shape on the back right here and on the sides too. It should look a little more square right now. Of course, it needs a little more styling and more cutting. But this is what I was telling you about me cutting it with scissors first on the foundation, because as you can see, it's already blended. I don't have to do any more work, any more like scissor over comb or any of that. It's already blended, it's already ready for us to be fading it, and we have one thing out of the way, you know, one thing less to think about. And then our second step on this fading technique will be with the half guard open, right? Lever completely open, half guard, and we're gonna do an imaginary line with the same shape that we did previously with our 1.5. So lever open, lever mid. So at this point I have only used 2 clips, which is 1.5, and the machine, just no clip on it, no guard on it. And if you can see, it's almost blended. Of course it needs a little more work, but that's why we use the half guard. This is gonna help us cleaning up that little line here and there. We may just use this once again to clean up the whole area, but I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna do this side on camera and then the other side off camera. Okay guys, this is the final result. That's our low to mid skin fade, textured crop on top, curly hair, well, wavy hair. I ended up doing a little line just to give it a little touch. Off camera, I finished the other side. I'm gonna show you over here. Yeah, hairstyling wise, I used sea salt and texture powder. How would you guys rate this haircut? 1 to 10. Thank you so much. Please hit that subscribe button and see you in the next one.